Hi, and welcome to Roughcut, a National Broadcasting Society student-run and produced variety show. I'm your host this week, Matt Locke, and this is our final episode for the school year, but don't be sad as we will return next fall. As always, we're going to start off right away with the news desk.
Good evening to you on this Tuesday night. I'm Brian Ortiz.
And I'm Kylie Wakefield. Welcome to the news desk. A woman opened fire with a handgun at YouTube's headquarters in California on April 3rd, shooting 3 people, one of whom was critically injured before killing herself, the authorities said. Authorities identified the attacker as Nasim Agnem, who was in her late 30s. The motivation for the shooting was under investigation, the police said. Although her social media postings included criticisms of YouTube, Agnem had a long-standing dispute with the company. The official who spoke on the condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to discuss the case said Agnem used the name Nasim Sabs online, a website and that decreed YouTube's policies, and said the company was trying to suppress her content creators. YouTube filtered my channel to keep them from getting views, one of the messages on the site said. There is no equal growth opportunity on YouTube or any other video sharing website. Your channel will grow if they want to. Agnem hated YouTube and was angry that the company stopped paying her for videos she posted on her platform. Her father, Islam Agnem, released the world's biggest online video website is owned by Silicon Valley's giant Google, but company officials said it's a tight-knit community. The headquarters has more than 1,000 engineers and other employees and several buildings. Today, it feels like the entire community of YouTube, all of the employees, were victims of this crime, said Chris Dale, a spokesman for YouTube.
President Trump has imposed tariffs on China for as much as $60 billion worth of Chinese goods to combat the rising threat from a nation that the White House has called an economic enemy. The measures are Mr. Trump's strongest trade action yet against a country that he says is responsible for thousands of lost American jobs and billions in lost revenues. Financial markets plunged on fears of a potential trade war between the world's 2 largest economies, with the S&P 500 stock index dropping by 2.5%. The White House said it was taking action in retaliation for China's use of pressure and intimidation to obtain American technology and trade secrets. The measures include a significant change in Mr. Trump's looming steel and aluminum tariffs that would aim them primarily at China. After Mr. Trump announced the moves, China's Ministry of Commerce said that it was imposing tariffs of its own on 128 products from the United States, like nuts, wine, and pork, that it valued at about $3 billion. China urged the Trump administration to resolve differences through dialogue to avoid damage to the broader picture of Chinese-U.S. cooperation. The president's actions fulfill his frequent campaign pledge to demand fair trade deals with nations around the globe and to retaliate against trading partners if the United States does not secure better agreements.
A United States Air Force F-16 assigned to Neal's Air Force Base in Nevada crashed outside of Las Vegas on Wednesday morning, and the 3rd aircraft crashed in 2 days. The pilot was killed in the crash, the Air Force confirmed in a statement. He was a member of the Air Force Thunderbirds demonstration squadron. The F-16 crashed during a routine aerial demonstration training flight, and the cause of the crash is under investigation, according to the Air Force statement. On Tuesday afternoon, a Marine Corps CH-53E Super Stallion helicopter crashed around El Centro, California. During a routine training mission, 4 crew members aboard the helicopter were killed. Congress and the military have come under scrutiny amid the spate of the aircraft crashes. Military leaders have long argued for the increased budget to combat a readiness crisis, as foreign adversaries have gained momentum in other areas of the world.
The 2020 census will ask respondents whether they are United States citizens, the Commerce Department agreeing to a Trump administration request with highly charged political and social implications that many officials feared would result in a substantial undercount. In a statement released, the Commerce Department, which oversees the Census Bureau, said Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross had determined that reinstatements of a citizenship question on the 2020 decennial census questionnaire is necessary to provide complete and accurate census block level data, allowing the department to accurately measure the portion of the population eligible to vote. But his decision immediately invited a legal challenge. Xavier Becerra, California's Attorney General, plans to sue the Trump administration over the decision.
Well, April has been true to its word with constant rain in the forecast. Let's send it over to Danny to see if the sun has any plans to break through this week.
Thanks, Kylie. Hope you all enjoyed the warm weather we had over the weekend because it won't be back for a while. Today we're back down to the 40s with a high of 47 and a low of 34 degrees. Then we're back in the mid-50s for the rest of the week. Tomorrow with a high of 55 and a low of 39 degrees with light showers in the evening. Thursday and Friday will also be a high of 55 with a low of 37 degrees. And that's it for weather. Back to you guys.
Stick around for Hotspot, the wrap-up, and this week's Digital Short. I'm Brian Ortiz.
And I'm Kylie Wakefield. Thank you for watching the News Desk and have a great night.
Thanks, guys. Now we'll kick it over to Hotspot to see what's new in Hollywood.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Hotspot, your all-access pass to everything entertainment news. I'm Marilise Lorario, and unfortunately, I have some more celeb breakup news. If you haven't already heard, after 9 magical years together, Channing Tatum and Jenna Dewan Tatum have announced that they will be splitting up. A source told Us Weekly he left her weeks at a time for trips with friends. Jenna wanted him to go out and do the things he wanted to do and was always supportive, but it became clear that he enjoyed being away. She gave him all the space that he wanted, but it wasn't good for their marriage. They tried to find a new and happy new way that worked for both of them, but ultimately, they couldn't find a place. The former couple shared a joint statement on Instagram telling all of their fans that they have both agreed to split. The post states, "We have lovingly chosen to separate as a couple. We fell deeply in love so many years ago, and I have had a magical journey together. Absolutely nothing has changed about how much we love one another, but love is a beautiful adventure that is taking us on different paths for now. They will continue being dedicated parents and take care of their lovely baby girl. It breaks my heart to see a fun-loving couple like this split, but if it's what's best for both of them and their family, then we can only respect their decision." At the end of their statement, they say, "We won't be commenting beyond this, and we want to thank you in advance for respecting our family's privacy." Man, first Logic and Jessica, now Channing and Jenna. Celeb splits seem to be the new trend. But don't worry, people, there's still hope out there for the rest of us. If anyone needs me, I'll be on my couch binge-watching Step Up and reminiscing about these two phenomenal performers. Well, that's all we have for tonight. This has been the last episode of Hotspot for this semester. Be sure to follow us on social media accounts located in the credits. One last time, I'm Marilise Lorario. Have a great semester.
Gotta love that gossip. Now we're gonna check out all things sports with the wrap-up.
I'm Jake McDonald, joined by Justin Rodriguez, and we're here to talk about the NFL segment of the wrap-up with the new league year kicking off last week over spring break. Free agency period officially began. Teams had been trading for a while, but the official window to sign free agents officially opened in the NFL, and we're going to get things started with maybe the biggest move in free agency so far. The Minnesota Vikings signing free agent quarterback Kirk Cousins to a 3-year, $84 million contract, fully guaranteed. How much better does this make the Vikings, Justin?
Well, I mean, I have them winning free agency just because of that move. If you think about that division and kind of what else has happened in that division specifically, I mean, the Lions, they still don't have really a true running back. They signed LeGarrette Blount in free agency. The Packers lost Jordy Nelson, but they picked up Jimmy Graham, who I kind of think is, he's still relevant, but he's not nearly what he was when he was with the Saints. So when the Vikings picked up Kirk Cousins, you have to look at the offense that's around him. Dalvin Cook comes back next season after the ACL tear that he had. Latavius Murray is still there. Kyle Rudolph at tight end. Stephon Diggs. Adam Thielen. I mean, Treadwell's still there. He hasn't really kind of broke out yet, but it's because of the logjam that they have at the receiver position, which is a good problem to have. So, I mean, what can you say about it? I mean, I think the Vikings, you almost don't want to say it, but it just looks so good on paper that you say, oh, well, wow, they can win the NFC North with this. Like, it's insane. Plus, the fact that somebody like Kirk Cousins was even available in free agency totally blew my mind. So, but yeah, we had a couple other teams that were super aggressive in free agency too. The Cleveland Browns ended up trading for Jarvis Landry, Tyrod Taylor, and honestly, with the couple moves that they've had too, AFC North is kind of getting closer and closer to changing over of the guard, I guess, and who's going to be at the top. I mean, the Steelers are getting up there. Big Ben's getting older. There's questions of whether Le'Veon Bell is going to be there. I mean, I know you don't want to hear this, but the Ravens are kind of having salary cap issues. I mean, they did sign Michael Crabtree at the receiver position, but both of those teams, and then the addition of the Cincinnati Bengals, they're just getting older, and there's the Browns have that potential to be that younger team moving up. So I mean, that's what I have to say about those two teams. I mean, who do you think also made like big splashes in free agency?
Well, I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head with those two. I mean, you could say that the Cardinals made a splash just by the contract they gave Sam Bradford. I know it's just a one-year deal. Certain teams are spending a lot of money as well. But to go back to the winners we were talking about with free agency, I definitely think the Vikings and the Browns won. We talk about this every year with the Browns winning free agency, but they have themselves a bridge quarterback. They have the number 1 pick in the draft as well as the number 4 pick. So they're definitely going to get some type of quarterback, whether that's at number 1 or number 4, we don't really know yet. But no matter what, they will have somebody there if you want that option. And then they also have Saquon there if they want to take him as well. So they still, even though they've made all these moves already, they have the potential to address multiple positions within the first 5 picks, which you almost never have in the draft. And I just want to talk about Cousins real quick because the knock on him has always been that he's never been in like a big game moment, like in an NFC Championship, for example, and he's never delivered in the small chances that he has had. But he doesn't have to do nearly as much as he did with Washington. Yeah, he was asked to do a lot in Washington, but now they're still going to expect him to be the $25, $26 million quarterback they're paying him to be every year now. But he's got all these weapons around him, and now he actually has a defense, which he never really had in Washington. So he's not going to have to do nearly as much as he did if he's going to be more than a game manager. He's Kirk Cousins.
Yes.
But there's not going to be nearly as much pressure on him as there was in Washington, D.C. But there are some of the top moves of NFL free agency so far. Again, the Vikings and the Browns, the big winners, and some other supporting moves as well. So for Justin Rodriguez, I'm Jake McDonald.
Let's check out what crazy shenanigans the NBS Digital Short team has gotten themselves into this week.
So I was at the proctologist yesterday.
Oh. Did you find out you had diabetes?
I did.
I
Find out a lot about a prostate.
I know.
I blame communism. It's coming back.
I blame Canada.
They're the sneakiest of countries.
So, abortion. Welcome to the Eric Woolrab Show. I'm Eric Woolrab. As you can tell, I no longer have pink eye. In other news, we have a very special guest today. Let's welcome our first weird-ass mother... Donald Glover!
Yo, thank you. How you doing, Eric?
So, Spike, it's so honors me. I'm a huge fan of your movies.
Yeah?
Yeah!
What movies?
You know.
The one with the princess or the one with the kingdom?
No, the one with the one with the headless chicken.
You know about that one?
I need some peanut butter.
What?
I'm so high right now. All right. Our next guest is none other than the one, the only, Spike Lie.
How you doing?
Who the hell are you?
Spike Lee.
No, you're not. I just talked to Spike Lee.
No, I'm a Spike Lee.
I know, just, so, anyway, let's see, you saw that. Did you see the ball move?
No. What ball?
Okay, so I gotta tell you a secret. Don't panic, but my neighbor lives next door to me.
That's
Like,
nice.
Next door.
Next door?
No, like prison next door. It's not that stuff. That stuff, man. I don't know.
That's not the exit, man.
Who was that?
Oh, that was Spike Lee.
No, I'm Spike Lee.
No, you're not.
Okay.
Take it. Take that plan.
You know, Eric, I think I'm sick of being your co-host. It's about time I took over.
You know what, Nick? Give me your belt. Give me your belt right now.
Oh, I'll give you my belt, laddie.
We're fighting.
Taking this out.
Ow! That hurt. You gave me heartburn, you bastard.
I don't share very much. Ah!
Finish him.
And now we're back with the Nick Copenhaver Show.
Don't forget to hold someone's hand as we cross over to the street. Be you on the street.
He's making dreams come true. Be you on the street.
Hey, Bloomsburg. Politics. No, I'm just kidding. We're not really gonna do something like that. Anyway, so I just want to ask, who here has seen Black Panther, The Hunger Games, or Wonder Woman? How about you, cameraman? Oh, well, what do you know? So, anyway, these movies take place in fictional countries, you know? Well, at least I think. I don't know. We didn't fact check this before we decided to do this whole game. So, anyway, they're not real. And there are some people out there who don't really seem to know that. So, we decided to go out and find these people and ask them what they thought about a crisis happening like in each of these countries. And if they figure out that the country isn't real, we're gonna give them an American flag. So, without further ado, this is Real Opinion, Fake News. I mean, fake country. That's totally what I meant. All right, so in your opinion, do you think it's time for us to bring U.S. troops home from Wakanda?
From where?
Wakanda.
I don't know that U.S. troops are in Wakanda. Where is Wakanda?
It's kind of near South Africa, kind of. It's like a South African country. Do you think it's time for us to bring them home there?
I have no background knowledge.
What is their role?
Yes.
Is it just, is there a strife there that we're maintaining?
Kind of, yeah.
Well, I think so, but that's really up to the government. They know what they're doing. I believe that they have a good handle on it, but if they come to terms with they shouldn't yet, then they shouldn't. But I definitely would love to see them come home.
All right, so in your opinion, what do you think about President Trump's Twitter war with President Snow?
I think that he's just too much as a president. You should not. I think that with the Twitter, it's just overkill. As the president of the United States, I don't think you should be tweeting that. I think that's something that should be taken a little bit more professionally, and that's just my opinion.
What are your thoughts on Germany's attack on Themyscira?
Themyscira? Could you go a bit more into detail on that?
It's kind of near Greek, sort of, like Greece.
Why are they attacking?
Well, apparently it was kind of like based on their resources, sort of.
Do they have any prior interest in there? Have they been there before? I don't know much on the topic, so I really can't comment too much on it.
Should Pan Am be forced to share its resources with the world?
Yes, sharing is caring.
Okay, so recently the UN ratified these things called the Sokovia Accords. Do you think that'd be a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't necessarily know what that is. Could you explain what that is so I could?
It's basically like a registration thing for kind of troops, sort of like the UN troops, sort of.
Okay. I think it could be beneficial. Like, it's good to have something to keep track of where everybody is.
Okay, so in your opinion, should Zabraka share its resources with the world?
I think so. I mean, everyone can benefit from resources that might come in handy to some projects that someone could be working on.
Wait, can someone else do this? Because I don't even know what Genovia is.
Well, guys, that's our show. In fact, that's our show for this entire semester. We did it. We somehow made it through an entire year together and somehow didn't get canceled. So I just want to say, in all seriousness here, thank you all from the bottom of my heart for helping support this show. It couldn't have happened without your help. So again, this is Eric Barlow saying...
Mr. Barlow, moment of your time, please.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Mr. Barlow.
What's wrong?
Going over your contract here. See, your show is called DU on the Street, right?
Right.
And I haven't seen you on the street now, have I?
Well, I mean...
Last episode, you're on the sidewalk. You're never really on the streets because, you know, streets have cars, you know, the things that go vroom. And you're nowhere near that man.
Well, yeah, man. You know...
Alright, he's not cooperating. Boys.
He's making dreams come true. Be on the street.
For one last time this school year, thanks for watching Roughcut, and we'll see you next fall. I'm NBS President Matt Locke signing off. Thank you.